Ghpagetv suni asembi abeto social media no so agent na hayi pa ya pese fe be som o channel yisu ntini akofa ayi mu no kre e de be som na me kase pi ansa na be ko no be so be like be share no subscribe na we dey adwuntwe bi awa to comment section as ma ring fi so say o be turn on the post notification bell no se be ya o ya afro so sabe tima ka video bi ahwe ebusafo nkuti ane ko hwe de trend ni bi mba de ba de aka no ye ba be to amaso.
Good point. The reason why I'm in court, you see, throughout my practice, I've always held a view that where there is lacuna or where there are divergent opinions, we don't have to remain on the streets and continue the gallery talk. Let's go to the right forum. And it's a reason why we are at the Supreme Court for interpretation, so that this matter will be settled once for all. You know my track record at the bar, so that will speak for itself. Back to my respected friend of Joy News, Kweku Asante. Every constitution, indeed, any written document, be it the Bible, Quran, any holy book, including our constitution, must be read as a whole. Yes. So the rule of automaticity does not really operate as a means to an end. Due process is always a preferred vehicle to achieve a means. That is why the old saying in law is that if all find a man's hand in a tale, his guilt must be proven. I repeat, if all men find a man's hand in a tale, his guilt must be proven. Why that? To allow due process to take effect. So I don't expect you to say that, oh, MPP, you are caught by a particular provision in your constitution, so go by it. No, we are a political party operating with a constitution. So a person must also be heard. A person must be heard, no matter what. So don't let us get in there. But if Mr. Speaker had allowed the matters in issue to be properly determined, wouldn't be where we are. Because my question is, why the rush? In fact, what has become of the Harun Idrisu petition? He's rendered Harun Idrisu's petition odious. He's rendered it nugatory. It is like the Harun Idrisu application will lead to a due process being followed. So we don't want it. But when did we ever, you the media, you asking a question today, and I've not heard you on your platforms questioning Mr. Speaker on that route. When did a speaker ever allow a statement to metamorphose into a motion for him to rule on? Joy FM did not address this yesterday. When did a statement metamorphose into a motion for a ruling? Is it the case that there is no provision for what should be done when a statement is made? In any event, did what Atufosin do meet the requirement of a statement under Order 93? Please, when you have your uncle who is also a former attorney general, you will never be in want. Yes. And a senior member for that matter. You know, the MPP constitution that you quoted, though I answered it generally, but the specific provision under 3, right of member. So though there's a clause that confers automaticity right on the party, there is also another arm that confers due process right of fair hearing on the member who is affected. So if you come here, right of a member shall have the right to participate in all activities of the party subject to rules and regulations, be heard whenever his or her activities and conduct are in question and under consideration by the party. So if my member has decided to file as an independent candidate in the next election, the party is not happy, and the party is not happy, the constitution which you quoted enjoins the party to hear the person, explain your activities. But that is not where we are. This is we NPP. This is us. We have not written to Mr. Speaker. They said they were following precedents. Even if that is the precedence they want to follow, that precedence was triggered by a certain process. Has NDC written to Mr. Speaker? Has NDC, has Fifi Kwete, as General Secretary of NDC, written to Mr. Speaker that indeed our member Kwache Aka has been sacked? Has MPP written, I as the majority leader and leader of government business and leader of the caucus, have I written to Mr. Speaker to say that this is a communication from the party?
Of course not. Therefore,
please proceed. Yeah. So they have placed something on nothing, and that is why it is falling. It's crashing. There is nothing.
And it's dangerous.
There is nothing that supports their actions. And when you want to make your point, Mr. Speaker begins to threaten you. Yesterday, all of you saw the way he was threatening me. He became so apprehensive and called the marshal on us. I mean, I think it was most unfair that after Mr. Speaker has said all that he wanted to say, he now was pushing me by rules. That what rule am I up to respond and all, and that what do I want to say? Basically stopping me from speaking. He didn't want me to speak, and I yielded to him because that is his platform. If Parliament is all about Speaker, he should take it. I repeat, if Parliament is all about Speaker, and in any event, what Mr. Speaker forgot yesterday is that it took a fit columnist from us to make him a speaker, by the way. Often he forgets and does a bidding of NDC. If it's all the NDC members who voted for him, he wouldn't be speaker. But we leave that to posterity and his own good judgment.
No.
So we thank you very much. We thank you very much. Dean, we give you a copy. Dean, Dean, I expect you in the office.
So this has been our live coverage. We are live on Joy News. If you want some explanations to make, we can get into that. But the New Patriotic Party in Parliament really making a big case for why they believe that they are still the majority in the House, despite the Speaker having declared despite the Speaker of Parliament having declared 3 of their seats vacant, which means that they are still in the minority. They are not taking that. They say that the Speaker's actions are wrongful and they are going to push until the Supreme Court declares those actions by the Speaker of Parliament as irregular, for which reason it will not be allowed to stand. I'll talk to a few more people about these latest actions that have been taken. Let me talk to the former Minister for Environment, Dr. Friye. Doc, live on Joy News, the camera is here. I mean, Doc, the Speaker has laid out the rules for which reason he has done this. Your side disagrees, and you say you are boycotting. Isn't your government business going to suffer by not coming to Parliament? You have the EPA bill that is still there.
Oh, the EPA bill is bound for the 3rd reading. So I agree with you. But hey, we have a hierarchy of principles. This boycott is conditional. It's not an indefinite boycott. Until the Supreme Court or the court determines, then we will not participate. Because, in fact, it will be inviting chaos. Assuming we go to the chamber, are we going to abide by the Speaker's ruling? In other words, are we going to be the majority or the minority? You see, and it even has the implication from the bills that are even pending. So it is according to my hierarchy of principles, it is better for us to assert ourselves that we still remain the majority leader. And by the way, the issue at hand, that was not the intention of that constitutional provision. You see, it is for a future thing, futuristic, not now. And that's why you heard me interject that this is a very dangerous ruling. If you say this in capriciously, even political parties can even use it against some of our members. So we have to be very careful. If you don't take care, they will wait, and I can even envision a situation where parties can use this ruling to cajole us, even if our political opinions or our vision has changed. For example, I'm representing the good people of Sevi also. I was elected on the ticket of MPP, but I reserve the right. If you know my political trajectory, I'm not afraid to say that I've evolved from the political left even to where I am, where we have a right center party. But because there are certain beliefs that, because for example the marketplace is supreme, that's why I'm an MPP member.
Right.
But if something changes with my party and I want to change, I don't want them to use this thing capriciously. That term that I was elected for by the good people of Serio, so I should serve it before somebody uses this.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend Dr. Ghpagetv. So, Dr. Ghpagetv. So, we just about to wrap up our coverage from Parliament, where the minority have been speaking about the specifics of what they believe. If you look at the standing orders now, because 3 seats have been declared vacant on their side, until the Supreme Court overturns the decision of the Speaker of Parliament, the NPP group are in the minority. And here at Joy News, we defend the kind of journalism we do. We have put out credible information. We have not put out misinformation. We have just reported the facts as they have come, and those are the facts that are in the public domain. As we speak, Afenyo Markin, who until yesterday was the majority leader, has become the minority leader because he does not have the full complement of the membership that he had as of yesterday morning. They only have 135 members, and the NDC now have 136, which makes them the majority. If you look at the standing orders, I should quote some of the interpretation part of the standing orders. It defines the majority leader as the member of parliament designated by the majority caucus in the House, and the majority caucus means the House, the party or parties that have the largest number of seats in the House, and the party or parties that have the largest number in the House currently is the NDC group with 136. And again, we defend the journalism we do here at Joy News. We do not peddle misinformation. We do credible work, and that is why we are Joy News. We are independent, we are fearless and credible. So you can take it over from the studio. More reaction coming in from this decision taken by the Speaker yesterday, and a flurry of responses having come from yesterday. A lot more are going to come, you can bet that, with this new action in the Supreme Court, and a lot more action expected to be taken in the coming days.
We end up to social media so agent high pa Ghana Info TV. Ya to e boase Edimodu kre abesom or channel yeso. Ansa na beso beso no beso so be like be share no subscribe. Adwuncho bi a obi ano fa to comment section ase emrepe mu no be ken kan da mamo akramo.